So as other states across the nation enter phase one of reopening, Pennsylvania Congressman Dan Meuser joins us with where his state stands. Good morning, Congressman. How are you?
Good morning, Carly.
All right, so there's a lot of anxious people in Pennsylvania ready to get back to work. Do you agree with those who are saying enough is enough? Let's start the economy now.
You know, many people in Pennsylvania feel their freedoms as well as their livelihood is being taken from them. To engage in, frankly, a very much of an arbitrary and capricious choosing who stays open based upon what products they make or what services they provide, frankly, is the wrong path. I completely understand our governor's intent, but the results are far different. What things should be based upon is safe working conditions. And any business, regardless of what they make or produce or the service they provide, should be able to stay viable as long as they follow very safe safe working standards. And that's where the criteria should be. And the private sector needs a seat at the table. People don't feel as if they've got any say in this. And you know what? The private sector, if they're asked, has a lot of answers on how to accomplish this because they want to look after their employees and keep them in a safe environment while their business can survive.
Sir, about almost 16 billion of the Paycheck Protection Program so far has been approved in your state, and 1.5 million people have filed for unemployment, which is almost, I think, 1 in 5 people of working age in that state. Your state took it further than the federal guidelines as far as the lockdown went. Was that a bad move?
Well, I think so. Again, I think the intent was fine, but to go to some undefined interpretation of what life-sustaining is versus essential, let everyone in a very precarious position, everyone meaning small businesses. They didn't know whether or not they fulfilled that eligibility or not. And we went through some extensive waiver programs and seeking appeals. It was added pain that was really not necessary, and that's very unfortunate. Again, what we need is just safety standards that exist for all, and the people would live with that. And again, the people need a seat at the table. Too often, these big government plans are made in a conference room in the Capitol, and it needs to be far more inclusionary. And then let's throw on it. Speaker Pelosi decides that we need to add to the PPP well beyond just increasing the funding, and that may or well not be a bad thing. But what is a very bad thing is that the Paycheck Protection Plan, because of this, was delayed. There was no reason at all that the PPP would have passed by unanimous consent 7 or 8 days ago, minimizing disruption to small business. It would have continued just when banks and small businesses were accessing. This is when the government once again comes in and causes undue, unnecessary.
You know, Congressman, absolutely. We don't have a whole lot of time left, but I do want to ask you about the PPP just really quickly. Do you think that something's going to get passed this week?
Yes, we do. We had a conference meeting last night, and it looks good. It looks like we are going to Washington, and we will be debating. And it's for hospitals. I mean, it's for testing. It's an increase of the PPP. It's also an increase in the EIDL program, the SBA loan program. So it's all things that frankly, I agree with and are necessary. But again, we could have increased the PPP last week and done all this coming week.
Yeah. It's got to be done soon.
Pain put on people.
Congressman, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. And we'll be right back.